Good morning, guys. Welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. It is Thursday, September 29th, guys, in the year of our Lord, 2022.
Every year day of the Lord.
Indeed. When you're here with your faves, guys, me, Azem, and of course I'm joined by Jade, Gwenny, Adita, CPL, Mather, Stewart, 1000 Strand, White Frame, Johnson.
Are we just going to be playing charades that morning?
Yeah, why not?
Good morning, by the way.
Why not? It's a fun game.
Okay, I just check in to see if you're going to describe me every day to the listeners, because they're watching.
As I should.
They was watching, they would see all of this.
Right, so I have a responsibility to the listeners, Jade.
They know what it is. Been missing at mornings, you know. If I didn't know how good we look, right? If y'all see the two people y'all listen to every day,
Oh boy.
y'all would become loyal viewers.
Hey, but big up to the people who do log on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, they could see our lovely faces.
Indeed.
Yeah, and even if you don't get to listen on the interwebs, yeah, we still appreciate you.
Indeed. Telling you, Witty.
Oh boy, morning, Weedy. But Jade, how are you doing? Just do my wellness check. Make sure you're doing okay.
I'm fine, actually.
Yeah. Nice.
It's like good morning.
How you get that done?
What, being fine?
Yeah.
I can't say it over the radio.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We're talking twos.
Yeah.
But
Just know it included some Beyonce.
okay.
Yeah, some Beyonce in the morning.
Renaissance.
Yeah, boy. Get that energy up.
Get the energy up. Myself.
Telling you, if you hear that first thing in the morning, nothing else bad can happen to you, you know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, you just need some good music in the morning. Some people like to listen gospel.
Yeah.
Then there's the people who like to listen to Gunman song.
Gunman
bright and
song.
early
Yeah, Gunman song bright and early.
as they wake up.
Get the blood popping.
Then there's some of us who like a little Beyonce.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, what you say? Act 2 is coming. That's supposed to be coming just now for sure.
How are you?
I am doing well.
You look well.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
My day started off rough.
Yeah, it's to Beyonce or something.
I didn't listen to Beyonce.
See? I tell you so, you know.
And on top of that, first thing on the agenda for me this morning was apparently catching a cramp in a tendon just above my left ankle.
You ain't drinking enough water last night.
I wasn't drinking enough water and I was on my feet basically all day until today. All day yesterday until early this morning.
Your body probably was looking like the episode of SpongeBob when they put him out in the sun.
Oh.
Terrible.
Yeah, so, and the thing is, my thing would be like, how much of these I have to drink, Jade?
A lot.
How much of these do I have to drink?
A lot. You just have to drink water. As an adult especially. You can't just be out here drinking Fanta and whatever sugary drinks y'all feel like y'all should be drinking at 8 in the morning. Y'all just can't do that. Y'all have to drink some agua.
Agua by.
And keep repeating that process throughout the day.
You know, people don't recognize just how important water is.
I don't dare. There's people who think that if you drink water when you eat certain foods, the water gonna make the food float.
Yes.
So, yes, I do understand that people don't understand just how good for you water is.
Like even onto brain health, like, you know, like one of the biggest like contributors to like Alzheimer's is dehydration.
Well, guess who ain't gonna be dehydrated? Because I can't function.
So it's time for this and drink some water.
Yes. Water break.
Water break.
Wait, mine to call.
Talk among yourselves.
Yeah, mine to call. Drink some water while we drink. Every time we drink water, you drink water. Let's make this a challenge. I think that should be a good. You have any gears?
Excuse me?
You have any gears? I mean, you said besides you being cramped this morning.
No, I have a lot of gears. I just don't know if I'm at liberty to talk about it.
How come?
Sometimes you got to pick your battles. What I would say though is I am just very much annoyed by something that I've spoken about it before, but get reminded constantly, and I was reminded about it again yesterday.
Don't tell me the word they fix.
Well, my road ain't fixed, and I don't know.
You ain't getting a word.
Oh boy, what I need to do? What I need to do to get a road, Jade?
I don't know, but I know you ain't getting it.
It's been 30 years, guys.
Exactly. So why would you think you're getting a word as him? You've been thinking you've been getting a word since I've been alive.
Yes, Jade.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hasn't happened.
Hasn't happened.
No. So let's.
Even though every administration has promised me that we're getting a road.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Every single one.
Politics. One thing
Every single one
gonna
they
do is
did.
politics, eh?
Yeah, one thing they're gonna do is politics.
So you no better next time.
No, I just got another.
You need to start to tell me, Leo, get your vote first before you vote. They're gonna help you. Tell them nobody up in this area is voting till we get a vote.
No, everybody up here voting, just not for you. We all gonna go out and vote, just not for you.
Until or if we don't get this vote.
Yeah. And all the people who got children in the decade on the same road that I refuse to pave, all the parents they should vote for whoever in their position to. But anyway, hopefully this is a new administration, who knows?
You know, who knows? You might get a vote this time.
The Prime Minister of America, we in the Prime Minister constituency.
You ain't get a vote, you're good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Your life start out now.
Perhaps we needed to be in Carmen's constituency though. Who knows?
Oh, because infrastructure. I think you're gonna get your vote, you go there.
Okay.
You drop in one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Well, I mean all of them.
No.
Think about.
No. Let's just continue.
I mean just not.
Let's
Lie on the radio.
So I'm constantly reminded of just how deep our love for mediocrity,
Yeah, man.
like how deep it is.
We love it. We love
But
mediocrity.
and we love it so much that it's like when people got somebody everybody could tell they're bad, but they just talk about this person like is the best person in the world. That's the kind of relationship we as like Kititians have for mediocrity. I am just I'm constantly reminded, and it does irk me, Jade. It does irk me, and
Is there an example on your hat?
afraid to say the example because
Don't do it.
maybe I might say it next week though, because I think it's going to be on full display for everyone before next week.
Okay, just wait till the show's then.
Yeah,
Then we
they're
can talk about
gonna show us. The other thing that has upset me too, Jade. Why do we keep encouraging people to not only take this step, become entrepreneurs, employ people, train yourself, right? The thing is, Jade, we know all that goes along with that. We know about the countless hours that you're gonna have to work. We know about the growing pains. We know about the fact that the lot of the investment for a lot of these endeavors are upfront. So people struggling. We know about the loans on your back, whether you get work or not. All of these things. We know the challenges that come with being an entrepreneur, Jade. We encourage people to go out and build their businesses, right? We also encourage them to go out and build businesses in new fields. Be innovative. Think outside the box.
Yes.
Some of these things might take special training and all for you to be able to do, right? At least they do to the highest level. Because, of course, you don't want people to just be continuing to promote this mediocre nonsense that does tend to be happening, right?
They do.
Oh, that's what they want.
They do. But
So,
I'm following.
so when the people go out, build up the business, right? Train up people, train up themselves, invest thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in their self, in their people, in their equipment.
Nothing will happen.
Just don't hire them. Just don't get them up. Just
Bypass them for everybody else.
bypass for everybody else. And then when you start asking, well, why? Because, of course, without any animosity, you now have gone through all of this and you're trying to figure out how to best position yourself, how to best position yourself to get work, basically, you start getting answers like, well, such and such say they want to try it. Such and such, like, well, maybe they're friends with the person who had to make the final decision.
Love it.
We ain't talking even about issues like, oh, you're built too high. We ain't talking about them things here.
Where is that? Where reach there?
We ain't reached there yet. But some of the truths that come out of these scenarios does make your head boggle in a jade, because it makes you start to wonder, why do you even try? Because because the thing that is the message that is sold to you is, if you're good at what you do, price your thing competitively, you'll get work. If you put in the effort to make sure that you're the best at what it is that you do, then you're going to, like, people are going to have to. No, that's not true.
Not at all.
People get work because of who they support.
You know about links?
People get, watch, relationships is what does get people work. Relationships.
Yes.
So
That's
you're
why
busy.
You have to network.
So you're busy there trying to figure out, like, how you're going to find this extra $8,000 to go bring in this equipment. So you're able to deliver even a higher and superior service. And people going, me really not here.
Well, you would if you give us a try. Like, that's how you get to know people.
Jade, I've been seeing it happening to all kind of people.
Yeah.
I've been seeing it happening to all kinds of people. And Jet Today is making one of the examples that really play out in these scenarios a lot.
Preferring us to do the same.
Bringing somebody from overseas to do things that people right here could do.
So you're not us, but you're not them. Okay.
And pay them more money too.
Yeah, man.
Pay them more money too.
Of course, because of the bill in US.
Not only that, not only that, Jade. A lot of what happens around here is people aren't able to competitively price the things them.
Yeah.
People aren't able to competitively price the services. It's crazy. Like,
sometimes.
I know that I would have been asked to provide certain services, right? Services that I provide overseas to all kind of people. These people got to fly me in, pay me per diem, put me up, give me rental cars most of the times, right? Sometimes actually have to pay for me to get a cell phone while I'm there. If I'm there for more than a week, that's part of, like, my package.
Perks by?
But you just ask what you want.
True.
Like, but if you're going there to, like, let's say, organize something, then you need to be able to call people.
No, that's important.
so they look pay, and you come back home and you price the thing that you do. Let's say you charge 3,000 US over there, you come here charge 3,000 EC now.
Too much. Too high. What do you
So the question, as a matter of fact, this ain't nothing new. I remember I had a friend who used to work on the ambulance, right? It's EMS. Man had a nice life here, everything, like, involved in all kind of stuff. Involved in all kind of community groups and stuff like that. One day the man come and say, me buy Mount Anguilla. I said, what? I say laughing, like, seriously, we just there, like, let me know, and then the man say, yeah, buy Mount Anguilla. I said, what do you mean? The man said, buy no Mount Anguilla. I said, what happened? The man said, buy money. I said, money? I said, okay, cool. So, like, is that much for you to, like, leave your family, your mother, everybody to go and so? The man said, boss, the figure that I'm being paid in Anguilla is the exact same as the figure I get here. He gets except it's in US.
I would have moved to Anguilla too. Yeah, I think it's very difficult for people to be able to. You know how many people have 2 jobs, right? I don't think we as humans were supposed to have these many jobs, to work this many hours in the day, you know. I don't feel like that's how we were supposed to be functioning, for you to work constantly. But we can't afford to be alive. We literally cannot afford to be alive as him. So we have to work multiple jobs because the jobs that we work not paying us a livable wage compared to the economy we live in.
Yeah. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up? Hi, caller. Link us back. But yeah, it's difficult, and I think what happens is a lot of people.
You're so depressing. Why would you? You hear me say I come in here in a good mood.
You asked me about gears, you know. I was about to move on.
Yeah, but like I didn't know your girl was gonna be this depressing. Like Jesus Christ, my Azim. And then I said, "Idak." Anyway, continue. Because then everybody done perk up. Because they're living through what you're talking about. So go ahead, continue to the destination.
So there's this phenomena where persons have to make decisions as to what bill they're gonna pay, when they're gonna pay it, who they're gonna owe.
Oh yes.
How long you think before this person decide to come burn down my house?
Oh.
Like, no, but you thought.
I laugh because of exactly what you be.
This is the kind of decisions people got to make in jail.
You literally have to figure out who can I owe without them killing me.
Like when you start putting expenses on one end and you start putting income on the other end. But the math say sin.
Not at all, but I think that's why a lot of people don't even budget, because I tell you, I started doing it again, right?
Budget is depressing.
And when I put out the money, I say, this year have to be some kind of miscalculation. Either I can't read or I can't count, because how?
There are a lot of people who get on some persons about, the fact that they don't manage their money well, right? That don't manage their money well. And I keep saying, sometimes it's saying that they don't manage the money well. The money just can't make it.
You can't manage what you don't have.
Your expenses monthly adding up to $4,000, and you're working for $3,500.
So what are you gonna do?
Are you working for $3,500?
You literally have rent, food, car,
What's your food?
electricity.
Food and all might take up the whole $3,500. Food moving ridiculous right now, Jade.
As me telling me, I tell you.
Food is crazy. It don't matter what you buy, it got to go over $100. I buy a sun chips, the man just say automatically $100. I say, sir, he say, oh, sorry, I'm so custom.
It just coming out like a reflex now.
It just coming out like a reflex. 100. Oh, sorry, sir.
My bad. I tell you, as in when you're done put on the figure on the paper, when you're done do your income, and then you go down to your
expenses. Something ain't adding up.
Somewhere between here, these numbers ain't matching.
And then you tell people, well, supplement your income. What talent do you have? You just plait here. You just do makeup. You
live in a very small country. Everybody can do that.
Right. So then you say, okay, well, perhaps you need to expand into something that is a little less traditional, right? Mm-hmm. You do that there, and then guess what? More struggle on top of struggle. Hey, I can tell you something. People walking around here depressed, you know.
Leave them alone.
Leave
these people alone.
They don't even know they're depressed.
Okay.
They don't even know they're depressed.
Because the trigger ain't hit them yet. But you want to say, what occurrence, you know? Leave people alone, mine. People are already up to their ears in problems. Do not attend.
When people who making the monthly salaries and so making decisions on who should get work and so, the man don't gonna heart by. The man don't gonna heart and so.
No, because you see, we live in a society where the rich love making sure that the rich get richer, not pass down opportunities to people who actually deserve it. My friend here who and he will be to be a millionaire. Let me give him this other $1 million.
Jade, what it is, right? society has no issue with moving laterally. So if you're in this particular class, or not even if you're in there, but if we view you as being in here, no problem. You could maneuver anything you want to do once you don't try to come out of that particular class.
Because as soon as you do issue, and I see all the time, right? Let's take promoters for instance. You could be at a certain level, not even promoters alone, entertainment. If you're in entertainment and you're at a certain level, right? Don't look like you're doing it, Don't look like you're making money. Don't look like you know what you're doing. Don't look like you're getting popular, because as soon as that happens, as him, all of a sudden you're the worst thing. You're a thief. You're a cook. You take away money and I'm like, what? We're the same people that was just giving y'all all this freeness, all these deals. Kitchens don't understand the amount of money they pay for things here. Other countries, 3 times.
Well,
But because
I blame the government for that.
Yeah, we know that. But as soon as you look like you're doing something or you're good at what you're doing, problems for you.
Let's see what this caller has to say. Good morning, caller 11 Island T. What's up?
Good morning.
Morning.
And this is your favorite caller calling in.
Welcome.
And your co-host. You didn't hear me say your co-host. My co-host.
Love it.
I listening to you guys there. Let me see. I think people are okay. I just had today in the life we live today. There's so much more that we can spend on. So maybe now it's about tightening our belts, basically, and maybe not indulging as much as we probably used to. That's what I think it takes. I heard you talking earlier about, say, for instance, the competitive pricing. And I couldn't help but think about my own business, and I'm not guerrilla marketing here, but, I have been doing pottery for a long time, and I've made those investments, and now I've made another investment to bring it to people where they can come and learn. I price as low as I can. When a similar class in the U.S., a 2-hour pottery class, just one class, is $75. I can, and I have brought in clay, I have brought in equipment, I have brought in glazes, I have brought in tools. You understand? To be able to do this, I cannot ask people to pay $275, which is equivalent of $200 for one class. You understand?
Right.
So this is the challenge. Like, at the end of the day, you're basically just, giving it away. And like I was telling one of my students yesterday, I said, the good thing about this, because those people who have done pottery with me, who enroll in, say, doing like 8 weeks, 12 weeks with me, they're actually now able to make stuff because people are calling me about doing work for their shops. And I'm saying, you can now produce for these shops. So come, let's do this sample. This person wants this person wants that. Let us see. So it's like a multiplier. You understand?
Right,
so they have a little something that they can actually use. And this is what I want, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be here forever. And I see people come from all over. Students at Ross University come to my class. They might have come on the dates. They might, do that sort of thing. But all people, in large part, are not really taking advantage of that opportunity. All over the U.S., I'm sure you come across pottery classes. People come, and so on. We have someone who's doing paint and sip. I'm also thinking about people like Yafin, who's like, and Winiel, and all of these people who are making handmade instant kits. And this is something that we have to, before we look outside, before we look at similar products that are being made outside, support those people who have made that investment to bring in the product to make something here. I know it's a little bit more costly. It's, like you said, we cannot price ourselves. I can buy a little coconut oil for $7.95, but or ketchup for, less than $10. Maybe Yasin's zone is a little more, but I want to have that local taste. You understand what I mean?
Right.
So it's about how we want to spend our dollars so that we, the entrepreneurs who live here, who have chosen to live here, and who have chosen to be a part, can continue to thrive. So people just have to watch, see how they can cut corners, how they can cut, to fit within their budget. And I think we'd be happy. I don't think we'll be depressed like you're saying. I don't think,
Appreciate it.
Is that?
I said appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Well, I have to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Solely based on the fact that a lot of people actually don't even have the extra money to live above their means. It's not that they're living above their means. That we have to realize that things moving, prices of everything is literally raising, but our paycheck isn't raising. So it's not a matter of a lot of people out here trying to live above their means and all of these things. It's literally that things are moving up, inflation is happening. But everything
getting more difficult for the dollar to stretch the same way.
Exactly.
I think because one of the things that one of the indicators is rent, right? And living conditions. When I say indicators, when I see where some people have to live because that's what the rent they could afford, that alone tells me that this person is struggling to earn enough. Like, one of the things you don't compromise on is like your house, right? Like where you shelter yourself. So I don't believe that there is a vast majority of people who live in spaces that are inadequate, that also indulge in a lot of frivolous spending. I could be wrong, but for me, when I see a mother, 2 children living in a room in somebody else's house, like in a bedroom in somebody else's house, right? I don't know if that's because she has chosen to spend the money that she earns in the least efficient. Like, as a matter of fact, I believe that there are a lot of women in particular who have to manage these households who are pretty decent with money. There's a lot of us, like you said, who perhaps make bad financial decisions, which is why we keep saying that one of the things we need to continue to promote is financial literacy, right? I think that is something that is like grossly lacking.
Extreme. Like,
right?
The fact that it's not in schools is like, how are you preparing kids for the future?
Right.
Without the needed tools, the necessary tools.
Right. As a matter of fact, most of the things that they teach you in school as it relates to money and as it relates to money and how you manage it really only speaks to spending. So they'll teach you how to write a check. They'll teach you how high a purchase go.
That's why we need cursive.
Yeah, so you can write on the checks.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. But most of it has to do with consumption. So it's not necessarily earning and stuff like that. It's about consuming, right? One of the other issues that really does annoy me is the lack of financial offerings that we have. Things that are put in place to encourage investment. Again, it does seem as though there is this underlying dogma of stay where you be, right? And so opportunities that exist elsewhere for persons to take the little that they have and turn it into a little more, and hopefully at someday get a lot, don't really exist here. I have a big pet peeve with the financial with the financial institutions where this is concerned, right? I have a friend. I was telling Mama, I was like, we don't do cash refinance here. And she said, I don't think so. I don't think that's something that the banks offer. I said, okay, why not? We have like I know National Bank has a trust company, but do we have like trust funds like you would hear about in the US and so? I don't know. So, but we have places like, let's say, like the Development Bank that, from my understanding, part of its mission is to help to empower the population, help people to move out of their present financial situations and get to new financial heights, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at the offerings, the financial offerings, it seems very limited, especially when I start recognizing the type of things that exist elsewhere. So, for instance, I can't go to, let me not say can't, but I know it's not encouraged if I'm to go to, let's say, Development Bank with my IP, right? For, let's say, my songs. Let's say I'm an artist, I earn X amount of money from my songs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't be able to go and say, well, here I put up this as collateral.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an entrepreneur who's actually doing well and you want to continue to invest, again, a lot of investment opportunities don't exist, so you probably go into the bank. You go to the bank, you're an entrepreneur, they're asking you for your job letter and pay slips. It's like, okay, I work for myself.
Well, we don't really.
Like, look, I have the money on the account, Like, the money is on the account, but what I want to do is I don't want to just use all my money to just buy this one piece of equipment. Take a loan, pay it off over time. Give me a competitive interest rate, you get your money. Like, I've been in that position. It's like, look, I have the money on the account. Like, you could, like, how much of a down payment you need? Like, how much collateral you need?
The bank hours, I've heard, right?
Jade, it'll be like. Okay, so the reason I asked about like cash refinance, I have a friend. He went to school with me, right? The man's like a multi-millionaire now.
Mm-hmm.
He started doing like cash refinancing and like properties, so like into real estate, right? So in a nutshell, what he was doing is like he'll buy homes. He'll put on a down payment on a house. Fix it up by putting some money into it. And so he now has equity in the house because now the value of the house gone up. So let's say he buy the house for 80. He had a down payment of like 20, and now he fixed up the house with another 20, and the house is worth now 150. So he put money into the house, so he has equity in the house. He goes to the bank, right, and takes out a loan based on the equity he has in the house. Meaning, I put money into this. This is the value of the house. So basically, this is how much of the house I own. Can you give me a loan based on that, right? They give him the loan, cash. Takes the cash, go put on the next down payment on a house. Repeat the process. Over the last few years, the man like literally got like 14 properties. Right? So I'm there like, so the man said, but y'all don't do this like in St. Kitts and so. I said, boss, you could got the money on your account, you go to the bank watching you like, what you want me money for?
It's crazy. I tell you, I've heard so many horror stories about people just trying to go for business loans for this, loans for that, and it's like, why is this so stressful?
It's so easy for you to get a loan for a liability.
Yeah.
Go try to get a loan for asset, no?
Not happening.
I literally have been talking to some of my friends in the US and they're telling me about some of these like loan offerings that they have, right? Loan offerings for people for different ethnicities from different areas of the city, different points in your life. So you're a certain, and people are using these tools to get rich. Of course, it takes discipline and financial maneuvering, but the options exist.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Watch out. In the States, thank God for credit unions. The credit unions, I know people who get rich off of credit unions.
That's interesting.
And you start trying to figure out, okay, what are the options? Just what are the options? Like, what's the options? When people are ambitious and start looking at, okay, where I'm at now, I want to move from where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And people start trying to figure out, okay, what are my skill sets? What are my passions? What can I do to move myself and my family into a more financially secure position? Now, we're not even talking about being like wealthy. People just feel like they're putting bed against a wall, Jade. A lot of people out here, they want to do more. They want to do, and it's like, what's the options?
They're very limited, I can say that.
The options really come down to work hard, save a lot of money, and then take a risk at the time in your life when you're least risk resilient. When you're in your 40s. That's what I like. Yeah, that's what going on, Jade. You come out of school. If you make the choice and go to college, well, that's
More power to you, boy.
Yeah, and this is not to discouraging people from going to college, but you have to understand, hey, this putting me in some debt, and so I'm going to have to take this into account when I'm trying to determine the way forward.
Mm-hmm.
So you go your work, and you sacrifice. You sacrifice, Jade. You sacrifice, you save. Right? Hopefully things don't happen in there.
Like a pandemic?
Oh my gosh. Hopefully things don't happen in there that cause you to have to dip into your savings, but you save as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And this is good advice. This is nothing. This is for anywhere in the world. You're in your 20s, work hard, save your money. Sacrifice the 10 years so you could live the next 30 years comfortable.
I wish these are things I had knew 10 years ago.
No. Jade, we teach people the next thing. You're young. Go enjoy yourself. Travel the world. Go see yourself. You ain't got a man where you waiting on you for. You ain't got no children. Go to that. No. Sacrifice in your 20s. Sacrifice between 20 and 30. So 30 to 60, you're jiggy. But that's basically why I come down to Jade. That's the way forward, because if you don't do that, how? If you were to look around society and say, oh, these are the people who have been able to really move themselves and their families out of the particular financial status that they were at. What's the common thread? It almost feels like those examples are exceptions, not the rule. You understand where I'm coming from?
Mm.
We need to move it from not being the exception. We need to make that the rule, where we could constantly see people making these moves. We have somebody on the phone lines. Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
Morning, Albert.
Morning.
How are you? Good morning, Jade.
Morning.
I actually catch y'all, so I'm up early, as it was early for me to call you. But I understand what you're saying. Like, I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for quite a few years, and some days you're still wondering, like, what's the point, you know? Because, I mean, I'm going to stick with it because it's still, as far as my freedom, my time and so forth, it's still more fulfilling than, you know, working a 9 to 5 for somebody, because I did that for 12 years and there really is no upward mobility in most of these institutions, you know, and after putting in all that time, I still left without gratuity, I left without any retirement plan, I left without anything. And I think that in St. Kitts, we have a lot of what I would call fake lives going on. And I tell people, just look at some simple things and you'll see the reality. We are spending US, but we make it easy. And we can't say we're not spending US because everything we buy basically is imported. And and everything is overtaxed. You have compounded tax. So when you step out as an entrepreneur, a lot of times, too, as you say, you cannot get certain loans. You can't use your IP as collateral. It's like you're doing this out of pocket. And don't bother talk about the pressures and, the lack of support from persons around you who feel you should just take a job. But there is very little, it's difficult because say you want to open a little music store, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to spend more on electricity, on all your utilities. The multipliers for those are the rates for businesses are higher. And you can't explain to me why, because if I'm burning the same amount of power, I'm just paying it at a higher rate than somebody else who is not doing business. It makes no sense, because if I'm burning however much kilowatts and you're burning kilowatts, I'm going to pay more simply because they tell me I'm doing business, right?
Mm.
If I want to put in the internet,
Yeah.
I have to pay a higher deposit and all these sort of things. So there are a lot of what they call limitations, and it's very difficult to start off as a small business. I personally feel these things are in place to hinder persons from the lower socioeconomic brackets from being able to start up. So a lot of times you push through, thank God for cell phone, you have to have no house, no landline again. But the rent is crazy. So you saw persons hustling on the street, you saw persons, setting up stalls, and people treat you as if you're a dog on the road because, it's not the first when I walk in and they ain't look good because we feel everything must look good. Everywhere you go in the world is people on the street, but we want to look bougie somehow with the poor proud self. And when you go to rent now, the rent is telling you in Bastia like $4,000 a month, and so you don't even have your own bedroom. The rats in the place, most building them in Bastia got mold falling apart. Instead, they replace the wood, they paint over it. So some of these buildings, the paint is actually the wood, right? But you paint top dollar. And then you have like a lot of foreigners who come in now. And I have nothing against foreigners, as I said. In a lot of ways, a lot of them help you more than the local, but it just goes to show you. You see them come in, you see them have basically nothing. Give them a year, 2 years, and you see them driving a Hummer. You see them doing this, doing that. Now, some of it is because they have more knowledge of some of these, financial tricks and whatever. So they could probably, and they're more confident, so they probably move up. But a lot of the times is also that they do get preferential treatment. They do come into social groups within St. Kitts that are more padded persons who have money tend to accept them and help them better. They have investment from outside of St. Kitts, so they're able to pay these rents. And the price has, they're coming in and paying and offering to pay these type of rent has driven up the price for us. It was hard for us to reach it already, but it's even higher now, right? A big issue we think is, again, is population, because a lot of the times, even if you sell cakes, you have 10 people going to buy cakes from you. That 10 can't buy cake every week. They're going to get fat, the doctor going to take them off the cake. But whereas if you had a larger population and you had, say, 100 people rotating, then if you make 10 sales a week, you're able to maintain that 10 sales because you have 100 persons, a pool of 100 persons from which to pull. So we already are struggling as far as population, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to fix that, in my bright mind, I'm like, well, you look online and you see all the opportunities online, you see the internet. I just say where the world is over 6 billion people, at least 4 billion people on the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I did a social experiment, right? I'm like, I have stuff I can export, and then you learn about the bilateral trade agreements, and you learn that, okay, I can buy easily from the U.S., but they're saying not with me when I try to sell to them. My stuff can't pass the port. You find out that there are so many restrictions on the Caribbean as far as, if I'm going to sell, most likely it's going to be something that has some sort of agro-processing in it. We don't manufacture stuff down here. So the only manufacturing I can get into with no collateral with my two hands is making something with, like, most likely that's in the food or personal care item, that realm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you go and you realize, you can't ship this, you can't ship that. We don't allow this.
Or the
And then,
packaging, right?
uh-huh. Sometimes, it's just that whatever you arrange between the US and here, they just don't take stuff
They
from
don't,
it.
yeah, they don't,
And
we
then
don't
you
import
hear,
this and that, yeah.
exactly, right? And then you go and you say, okay, let me sell IP, digital products, let me sell products that based on intellectual property. And then sometimes you go through the process and you see good enough, like, wow, I got to open this store, get to do this. And then when the payment time comes now, oh, well, we don't think to your bank, you're not a part of this treaty, your organization,
Right.
you're not this, you're not that.
Yep.
So it's like you are trying so hard. And then you go to these government institutions and the people are clueless. And everybody comes on and they talk out to the ear and they're telling you, no, we want to encourage export. And I've listened to Caribbean Export for so long and get all the emails and I'm like, you guys are so up in the ear. Yes, what you're saying in theory is good, but have you really, none of y'all run a business. None of y'all trying to ship something. My girl told me she tried to ship a piece of art the other day and she had to pay like $100 out your own packet. Where is that compatible?
Mm-hmm.
If I want to ship out Simas, which is huge right now, I have to go to the fisheries with every package and pay them $20 and they have to wait. If I get an order for 1,000 pieces of Simas, I will live in the office. How will I be able to facilitate those orders through that particular type of process?
Mm-hmm.
I went to cooperatives. When I talk about export, the people watching me like I talk in a foreign language. This is cooperatives.
Yep.
And so I think a lot of the times I don't want to say that we are unrealistic, but we are. And a lot of people, we go to school, we're encouraged to get degrees. The goal is get the degree. It's nothing else. It don't matter, you could go and get a degree in Bacchanal and you come back and you're going to play you're going to play something else. It don't matter what your degree in. Just get a degree and come back and then you get any job. It don't matter if you're interested, passionate, or capable in the job, right? So then you don't have anybody in these areas who really, everybody is trying to pay the loan, everybody is trying to survive, and nobody is really forward thinking. Nobody is doing business on their own, but you want to tell business people how to do it. If I want to go to courts, I want to go to anybody, I have to pretend I have a job as a small business person because if I'm not making no kind of money, there's something in the business like when your bank statement. My bank statement ain't gonna look hot. And so you have to go to other people and you have to say, you got a job? Okay, you take this for me. And you pay it off in no time, right? But you are held back so much. If until you say you have a business, it's like a big wall fly up in front of you. And there's so many things you have to overcome first. And then when they're done, they say, these businesses, they know what they're doing, they're just closing down. And when the person said people living above the means, I have to ask people, budget what? If you make $10 and your first bill is $150, budget what? We have to find ways of making more money. But that is like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but in saying it, there are a lot of things that we have to start looking at. We like to talk too much as if everything is a style. Everything is so possible, and we need to come out the clouds and come into reality and start looking at the world in a realistic way. People are not, for the most part, reaching over the means. When we look in St. Kitts, you ain't seen people, most people drive a second-hand car. You ain't seen, when you're looking at the island, these young girls done flashing Gucci and Prada, and we wearing Old Navy and Prince in things, and we're gonna pair Jordan. People not in the comparison to the rest of the world. Nobody live over the means. People barely surviving, right? To have a vehicle, which I consider a necessity for anybody, you basically have to sell your blood, heart, and soul for a second-hand or third-world spec vehicle down here. The expectation is like, what do you want all this for? In comparison to the rest of the world, people are not.
Let me tell you something. You got to certain institutions here that's supposed to be there to help you get duty free and them kind of things here. They're telling you, this the kind of vehicle you need to get. And about cars, is the style of the vehicle, right? Oh no, no, not a SUV. You got business. You got business where you got to drive up and down the island. Half the place them you're going off the main road they ain't paved, but you try to get a pick up a SUV. They tell you no. But you're thinking more like, well, you don't get a car or van. Like,
Yes.
like them kind of craziness.
They
Oh,
like-
a
they
vehicle
like
is
to
a
want
luxury
they
is a
want
luxury
too
item.
much. Everything is seen as a luxury.
Everything
If
is
I
seen
order
as a
some
luxury.
supplements, they want to charge you. Because I order a little maca powder, oh, luxury. For health, and I don't want to abuse old people or whatever, but a lot of people in positions are poor, and they think they're going to get nothing in life. And when you come up and you try to go higher, they want to pull you back. And we really need to look at these things. And my opinion is living over the means. People ain't got nothing fancy. You ain't seen nothing fancy. You see a lot of Japanese old car. The BMW them you seen on the road, most of them you for $2,000 on the internet. Let's stop it. Stop shaming people for wanting to live good. It's ridiculous. And thank you.
All right. Well, I almost calling them. If you want me calling them.
That was a heck of a sermon, eh?
Baz.
Telling you.
Baz,
She
Jade.
couldn't have said it any better. That is exactly the reality that we are facing in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Jade, that's the point I was making. When you start looking at how do I maneuver. For instance, right, when you're asking these questions, you start going to find information, Jade.
Mm-hmm.
You start going to find information. So I reach out to people I know personally who I have seen make steps. Because a lot of the people that I knew where they were and where they started from would be people I went to school with, like in the US and stuff like that. I reach out to them. They say, bye, watch it. This is what you do. Boom, boom, bam, boom, boom, bam. You come here, you go to the bank and say, hey, I offer anything similar to this? No. Okay.
Next step.
Next step. So you say, bye, let me go look at, let me see what resources I could find that teach people how to move out of things. So the next step is Amazon and YouTube. You go Amazon and YouTube, there's nothing that specifically speaks to our situation. So for instance, I don't watch Earn Your Leisure, right? Big up Earn Your Leisure one time and all the people that watch it. Because I got a lot of people here that watch it. Which is it's like a network. It's a podcast, but now it's a network. They do several different shows. They have conferences, all about helping people to raise their standard of living, earn more money, start businesses, how to invest, stuff like that, right? Half of the things they're saying there ain't apply to us, Jade. It don't apply. Totally different system, totally different offerings. I ain't talking about the tax system and them things. I'm talking about when you start telling people, hey, no, this is what you do. You get this type of loan that have this type of rates. And then this allows you to then go ahead and do this. These are the things you need to look for when you go to the bank. When you go to the bank, look for offerings that have such and such and such, such and such and such. Bam, bam, bam. Where are the resources that speak to our specific situation and tell us how we make better lives for ourselves? Who writing them books? Who doing those interviews? Who doing them? Like where are them resources? There's people genuinely want to know.
Of course.
So people keep trying to reinvent the wheel because we are the resources that give us that information.
And they should come from the banks. One of the institutions that should be teaching people about being financially literate is the people who have the money.
Jade, you see the points that the caller made just now about the hindrances. The hindrances, it is true. That's like even I talk to people, I say we have to find things that are subscription based, things that are scalable, software. Then the kind of things we got to get into now, one, not just because the population's small and thing, but also because like yes, it opens you up to the rest of the world and stuff like that in a way that circumvents all of the stupid red tape that we have to go through half the time. And nobody could explain to me why it is. Everybody will just say, that's just how it is. And then, but what it does, it opens up the pool to how much you could actually earn, because it's like, we have a caller talk about making pottery. We have a caller talk about making agro-processing, soaps, personal items, and things. How much of them things that you could sit down and make every day with your two hands? You understand where I'm coming from? So we got to start teaching people to develop skills in areas where they could then produce things that are scalable, things that are easily reproduced. So that's why when we talk to the people from the robotics club and say, they'll be so excited, because to me that's the area where people can actually start to see wealth here. When people start to make their own apps, when people start to make software. You understand? We got all these unique challenges here in the Caribbean. We're supposed to be making the software that address them kind of issues there.
No.
We're talking about, We need to digitize e-government. We got to go look overseas, somewhere in the States, to go find a system. You know how much systems we got running in St. Kitts in our kind of institutions, manufacturing companies, schools, all kind of thing that don't actually work for us. It's just like we just kind of trying to make it work a little bit, and then we got to ignore this part of the program. Because
that don't fit in what we're doing.
so we need to write these programs and recognize that we could sell them to other governments, to other places, other business.
Take a pin. We need to take a break.
Yeah, we need to take a break. But anyway, guys, we're going to take a small break and be right back with more Island Tea right here. Stick and stay. Don't go away.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Hey guys, welcome back to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. It is Thursday, and bye, gears going in.
Boy, yes. But before we continue, I have to remind you guys that we are having a charity walk on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Yes, guys, it is only $30, and all proceeds are going to some charities in St. Kitts. We are donating to PALS. We are donating to the Cardin Home. We are donating to the Children's Home. So walk for a good cause. Win with win.
Win.
Yeah, man. It starts at 5:30. But we are asking you to gather at 5 at the parking lot, just below the movies. Then you guys will traverse the Kim's Calling Highway down to the Bayfront and meet at the Win office. So come take a nice little cool walk with us on your Saturday for a good cause. Remember, guys, the first 50 people to sign up gets a nice little Win Media shirt, you know. Feel a part of the family. So, yeah, guys, you could come to the office, or you could go on Facebook and click the link that sends you straight to the sign-up sheet and just meet us on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have a theory.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Jen.
sorry. I need to shout out to Smoke and Booze. They had a wine night last night.
They had a wine.
Something so.
They had a wine thing.
Yeah, it's sexy. It's sexy.
It was vibes?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
You get to sample some wines and hear about the history of how they were made and all of these things. Nice little Wednesday night lime.
Okay.
Yeah, big up Sonny because he's a big listener to the show. So.
Yeah?
Yeah,
So
man.
you pick up yourself, bye.
So I have a theory on why a lot of these things are still the same way. I feel like it stems from the fact that in the Caribbean we are seen as like the old timely third world countries, and we basically fit into a certain genre in the world. Well, we used to. Things are changing now where we are we are way more advanced than we were back then. But I don't think a lot of people recognize these things. They don't recognize the talents that we have here. They don't recognize the skills that people know getting. It's no like back then people used to be a lot of farmers and all of these things. And yes, these things are very important. However, that's not the only thing that we do. We don't just farm. We don't just strive to be doctors and lawyers because that's a very small niche. We do so much more, and the people in charge have to recognize that we do these things now and figure out how to monopolize on these. We have the skills here, we have the talents here, but we just don't have the opportunities because those things aren't being created.
Jade, I keep saying, I think a lot of times we just walk backwards around here, right? And I keep saying we need to identify what it is that we need to see. What is it that we want to see? What's the society we want to build? What do we want to have happen? In other words, we need vision. And to be honest, I think vision is what's been missing. Vision is what's been missing. What we do is, as a problem arises, we try to come up with a solution. The problem is that when you go about things that way and don't have an overall vision for how things can go, you sometimes end up creating more and more problems.
Yep.
The solution brings its own problem, right? And so I think that's where a lot of this is going. Like when I look at the smaller countries of the world, right, and how they were able to develop. Look at a place like Singapore, right? Whether or not you agree with it, the reason why those things exist, those places like that exist and things develop that way, is because of the vision of the leadership, right? In other words, if you have a business that you're trying to grow into a large successful business, you're gonna have a couple things. You're gonna have like a mission statement. Let me ask you a question. Why is the mission statement to sink it? Nevis. Where's the mission statement? Like as Kititians, how do we define ourselves, and what is it? What is the ideal that we're striving to as a nation? If everybody doesn't have that clearly marked in their minds, then what is it that we're doing? What are we doing?
You're hustling backwards, that's what we're doing.
We might got people pulling. People might be pulling because they have to pull, but people pulling in all kind of different directions.
And they don't realize, right, everything links. So if we start figuring out, okay, we have this problem, who can fix this problem? Okay, this person can fix it, but this is going to create a next problem. Who can fix this problem? We're going to create more jobs for everybody because we know that's a big issue. The government cannot hire everybody. Even though that's what people feel like it should do, it cannot hire everybody.
The wage bill is ridiculous.
Exactly. So we have to figure out ways to create more jobs. And how do you do that? You innovate. You create different niches. Everybody cannot fit into the same categories. We're on a small island. We need things here. And we know we need things, because when the problem arises, what we just do? Bring in somebody to fix it.
The problem is that you have the innovative thinkers here. But what happens is it's difficult for the innovative persons to build. So you have a great idea. The caller spoke about it. You go, you figure out what you got to do. You might find clients overseas and all kind of thing. You got to try export it.
Okay.
All of a sudden, all kind of... Jade, we're talking about IP and thing. We used to make noise with the artists them. Oh, I music ain't even on iTunes. Your music ain't even on Apple Music and Spotify. I call myself any real artist. The artist them gone, no problem. Figure out, let me go to DistroKid, distribute me music. Okay, well, how I get paid from YouTube? How I get paid from YouTube when we don't have the proper treaties signed? You go to the powers that be, you tell them, yo, why we ain't sign on these WIPO treaties?
They know what you're talking about.
They know, they just won't do it. And people telling them all the time. We go to them, we say, look, in order for us to collect our royalties from the music that is played online, we need to upload a personal tax number. Or we don't do income tax, we don't have personal ID number. I said, but how you know is me pay me tax then?
Sorry.
You got okay, so I'll sign up a business. So what happening now? People literally trying to scam the system here. People scamming the system. So the artist got to do, the artist got to go register a business. Take the business ID to go sign up for these things to try and get the money. Then we got to go through our kind of rigmarole for them to recognize, oh, this is the bank, whatever, and so we could use our own bank account. Like people trying, Jade, but it's difficult.
The oldest of apps for example, PayPal. How is it that in 2022 we cannot have a bank link to PayPal? PayPal ain't you? This ain't just happening. We cannot. That is one of the only ways for a lot of us to be able to get paid from the US. Why is it that we cannot add a bank? One of our banks. We have so many banks.
Jade, I'm rushing to get some equipment in, right? I'm rushing to get some equipment in for a job I got to do, right? The people telling me by it's difficult for us to sell it to you because of the nature of the thing. We need somebody to come in. So I got to now try and transfer money to somebody, right? I got to transfer money to somebody who live in the States, so they could go to the store and buy the thing. It's a specialized item. Saying like they say you could just go on Amazon and buy it or go anywhere or whatever. How am I gonna get money to them? How am I gonna get money to them that ain't gonna last 3 to 7 business days? How? I have to go to MoneyGram. I can't Cash App. I can't Zelle. I can't
Apple Pay. No.
Can't Apple Pay. Can't nothing. It's crazy out here, Jade. It's crazy. We got people trying to get into the conversation quickly. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Good morning.
Morning.
In point to what you're speaking of is foresight. That's the word you believe you're looking for, foresight. For example, I have been a problem here on my farm, right? I went and I get Miss BlackFree involved in what's going on. She went and in turn went to speak to the permanent secretary for Agriculture Department. They came up a melon Saturday gone. There's a serious problem with pigs. Right now, my business partner have bullets up in customs. But the problem, we was told we don't get the bullets, but now they're saying some kind of red tape you have to go through finance and all kind of things. But while we're waiting for these paperwork to be done, this morning I reached on my farm again. I live on my farm, but I'm waking up this morning after, before 6 reaching down here. You want to see the destruction of my farm again.
Yep.
How could we move anyway? For example, right, and here you are mentioning government cannot hire everybody. Government supposed to be able to hire everybody. There's a difference between the government and the ruling administration. The ruling administration cannot hire everybody. But the government, which is with the people, we're supposed to be able to look after each other. That's what we're for. That's what we're here for. Because how is it, right? I out here, my family, watching the next step of destruction while paperwork is not yet completed. If you understand what I'm speaking of. You hearing me?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, go through.
If you understand what I'm speaking of. Why is it? Release the bullet, then the paperwork do after. Why did the damages must be continued? While they're still waiting. We're waiting for paper documents to come in place. When the bullets up in the customs office, up in the customs building, the damage is still continuing. And they're telling people stupidness. We got real land. We got 1975. I don't think you're born as yet. We own the pay for real land. And after that, we have no other say with real land. It's the rural administrator, the politician selling real land without consent. It's like a man raping a woman, going to jail. But man, the politician selling real land without our consent, and nobody going to jail yet. Nobody going to jail yet. That's where things stop coming back. Poverty alleviation. Now tell me, we weren't supposed to reach thus far. When before, back in 1975, everything was there, put in place, even well digging. A man from St. Kitts used to dig with one well, now they're importing people there to dig well first, and we have to pay to cast the road. People coming in, we used to do these things on our own. How these things going on, so we ain't say nothing. So the 4th of August of this year, make 5 years we've been overtaxed. I tell you, 5 years, and nobody say nothing. We don't pay off the IMF. Since the 4th of August 2017, a percentage of the VAT was going to the IMF. Or the IMF no more. Over 5 years now. This thing is that on Dr. Drew's shoulder. You have the past administrators and the people, the government itself. Because we are the government. How is it they say none? 5 years. You too much get involved in study it too. The governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank came and give the then Prime Minister back then, Timothy Harris, advice going to agriculture. The then Prime Minister, Alan Chasten, gave him the same advice our producers been going to. Martinique and Guadeloupe and reaching to up in France, up in Europe. None of these things was put in place, but our land was still continue being sold. While we the people who own the land end up in poverty. So I guess that good morning, respect.
Yeah, General. Yeah, the passion in your voice, G.
Bye.
But let me tell you something, my Jade. The farmers, them especially, that they're rough. Because you going to plant something in the ground, nurture it up, months and months and months and months, and in an instant, that they all are work done.
Gone.
In an instant. Now, there's an added level of frustration that a caller got to have, you know, because he, now recognizing the problem, came up with a solution, but for no fault of his own, can't implement the solution. Where he constantly losing, right? Yo.
So people are now fed up.
Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Hey, good morning. I was wondering if this line was working. Tell me something. Your 76209 or whatever number, that's not working? For a good couple of months, I tried that number and it's just saying it's out.
Oh, okay. Well, we could look into it. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah. I wanted to get in shortly after the lady who spoke, right? And, I mean, she really do make some really, really good points. I really like to listen to her contribution. But something that she said that I will have to bring to the fore in a different light. She made mention about the population. When it comes to maybe the sale of certain things and so on, the population size might be small and all of that. But when it comes to certain products, I do not agree. I do not agree with that. I don't think the population size has anything to do with it. I have observed this a lot in the agricultural section or industry and the catering industry. Okay? Sometimes somebody might come out with a product. They use their creative abilities and they might come up with a product. And then there are persons now who might be in the market, right? They look at that and look at the person and they might feel like, oh, that person is making money by this thing selling. So before you know it now, they either go themselves, send somebody to ask that person how they make it. Okay? Or they might go themselves or send somebody to buy the product to try and whether eat it as the case may be, to see how they can determine what ingredients or whatever is in it. Before you know it, they bring that product out on the market to compete. Okay? And not only that, when they come with the product, they try to, as some people would say, poison people's mind against buying from that same person who came up with that idea first. It's a nasty mentality among the people. And so if you don't be careful, across the board, you see almost everybody selling the same thing. No, that is not good because then you're going to have a glut on the market. And this is where the problem lies. The same thing with the agricultural industry. You have one farmer, might have a product on the market. They realize that others of them, I'm not saying everybody, but this is what I have observed. They realize that the product is selling. The first thing, that is selling. So when you look at it the next time, they're going into it too. Okay? And before you know it, everybody has watermelon selling. Everybody has carrots selling. Everybody has this selling. Everybody has that selling. And then you have a glut on the market. And when persons have invested the time and monies and so on into getting these products, okay, they need to make a return. So the price that they're going to have on the market, nobody's going to want to drop the price. So you're going to have some of these products end up spoiling, or depending on what they will have to throw them away. None coming together. They're not coming together to say, well, okay, I am, you can be a farmer producing watermelon. Somebody is for carrots. Somebody is for sweet potatoes. Somebody is for something. So when the people out there come to shop, they know if they want watermelon, they go to this person. Who wants sweet potatoes, they go by this person. Who wants this, they go by that person. So everybody will benefit. And if you don't realize it, all of their products can be sold. Now, somebody might say, well, that might not be realistic in such a way, but it can be planned in such a way in that One farmer could be the main producer of, let's say, watermelon, and might have a secondary product as a backup, but not as a competition for somebody else, to somebody else. And if they do these things, people will get the stuff sold. But it's this jealousy, run race thing. One person wants to have everything. I've seen this in the catering business. Somebody come out with something the next day, the next week, somebody has come out with the same thing that the person is selling. And if somebody has come out with something else, they come out with that too. So one person will have 20 items selling. They want all for themselves. So sometimes it's not the market. Sorry, it's not the population, but it's the mentality of certain people in the thing. And when they come to you and they ask you, well, how you make this? And you say, no, I can't share it with you. They're going to spread your name. Oh, this person is so greedy. They're so selfish. They don't want to share.
Right.
Turn it around on the person.
Go ask KFC for the 13 spices, no?
Exactly. You turn it around. What does that say of you? If somebody comes up with their own idea, shouldn't they benefit from that? That is their creative work. Well, you don't want to come and take it from them without even putting an iota of time to do whatever research, analysis, and trials and whatever. You want to benefit from that. So what does that say of you? What does that say of you? So it's the thing, and finally, before I go, because I don't want to take up too much more time, listen, we have a lot of abilities here. But you know what the problem is? I think some persons who are in positions, I don't know, this thing go way back, I don't know if you're familiar with this country and tongue rivalry, right? Oh, they're from the country, they're from the this. So there was a tug of war. I don't know if I should say resentment between those from the country, from those from town against the country people. Long ago, you used to hear people say when they have the queen shows, they only used to ask the girls from the country to just fill, to have the numbers. But they already know who they were going to give the crown to. This thing, this mentality, what we have today, didn't start today, It started years back. Once ago, you couldn't go into the banks to work if your skin was dark. If you had your natural hair. Here in this federation I'm talking about, And it was in the recent past. So some of these colonialistic mentalities still is prevalent in our society. It's still there. You see? And so you have persons in positions who decides who you ain't going to get no further than where you are. Sometimes I wonder if they are following the companies or the business policy, or they just take it upon themselves. They have their own personal grudges against whomsoever, and they just act out of their own whim and fancy. But I think some of our people just sit down and we take too much for too long. Right. Maybe we need to push back and say, well, listen, I need to see your manager. I need to see who did, and say something instead of just walk to the door and just allow these things to continue. And another thing in some of these positions also, listen, we need to finish, done away with all of this political nonsense that we have in our country. Vote for who you want, deal with issues, yes. But hey, look, I do see some persons in some uniforms here, and I'm not going to say this to be demeaning to anybody. I'm not saying what I'm about to say to throw shade on anybody, but we have to be realistic. I'm a realistic person. Okay, we need to be realistic. We're not going to go anywhere. If you're going to have, because of somebody's political persuasion, and they jump up behind a person or whatever, they did whatever they have to do because they have the eyes on a certain position. This is the job that I want when my government change. Yeah. You understand? And then you see some of them in uniform, and when you look at it, some of them never even went to high school in terms of getting a qualification. You hear me? The lowest of the class. Some of them can't even read a sentence backwards, and I'm not trying shade on anybody. I'm being realistic. So how do we expect some of these persons to function in these positions? They don't even know what the policy of the organization is. They can't tell you how to do the job efficiently, effectively. Some of them can't even read the thing properly, but they have a big badge on their shoulder.
Yeah,
These kind of
obviously.
uniform in certain positions that we have, as a country, have to be careful. Certain positions should not be given at any whims and fancy to just any and anybody because they back a thing. This is destroying the country, and we're moving forward. You see?
Right.
We have to be very careful, and I'm going to study. I could say more, but I'm going to study. You do enjoy the rest of your day.
All right,
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, but Jay, that phenomenon where people watch what you're doing and work out, but I could do that too. That is a big thing in SK. That is a big thing.
Yep.
You're gonna study the man and work out, but you got your 20 years experience working on this thing, building up yourself, doing what you gotta do. And this is not necessarily in just products, you know. As a matter of fact, I see it more in services. If a man providing a service, you work out too. But all he does do is go there and blah blah blah. I could do that there too. I could do that too. And you just go, we drop your price low.
Yeah, I just about to say undercut the
Just
market.
undercut the market now because, well, you ain't understand the cost that involved. You ain't understand the time and energy this man had to do to perfect what it is he doing. You want to just come and walk out. But I could do that too. And then, hey, the other thing too, people need to start making people sign non-competes on the thing. Eh? You got people coming in your business, you're barely making ends meet. Business barely afloat. You study here, train up a man, teach up a man, the man go do the same thing. No, in the States, them things can't happen here. Them are making you sign a non-compete before you collect your first paycheck here. So I say, yeah man, no problem, you could come work here. Even down to things like, up to things like podcasts and so. You see like how we doing this radio show? In the States and so you can't go leave me and decide you're going to go start the next radio show.
I
Yeah?
bet you don't leave me. If you're bad.
You can't go and decide you're going to start the next radio show to directly compete with what it is we're doing here. They might make you sign non-competes. Because when you don't come and learn everything and bang, 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 then you go out
You're
there.
going to take my business idea and try to do it better? No.
Not only that, you understand my entire business model.
Yeah, so you're undercutting me now.
No. But that's what people gotta do. A man gonna go start washing people care and thing. No problem. Partner work out, but guess what? But once that offer a little better service, you know, man go buy better soap, buy better cloth and all kind of thing. Man got kind of special toothbrush to clean out in between by your gear shifter. Next man just walk out. Open up just cross the road from him. Start to wash car. Partner washing your car with Dawn. Partner washing your car with Dawn. For the same price.
Down gentle.
And partner out there using specialized thing. Same thing cleaning services. You got man gonna go buy the industrial cleaning liquids and so the real things. Make sure it's good for the environment, clean and healthy. Boom, boom, boom. A woman come, go in Valley Mart or whatever, buying Rams. Oh yeah, they're going Rams. They're going Rams and buy some Clorox. And some Fabuloso. And they said they got cleaning business.
Yeah, man. Yeah, then your house smell fresh.
Using the same map for the last 6 months. Things ain't equal, Jade. Things ain't equal. But anyway.
Time for a break, friend.
Yeah, guys.
I feel like you've grinded out your gears.
It's your fault, you know. Come in, I wasn't going to say nothing,
no,
Jade.
my fault,
You
it's
come
my
back.
fault.
I said, you ain't going to get to grind today. You ain't got nothing on your chest.
I have to ask. What kind of friend would I be if I
I come
don't
in here
ask?
to have a nice light-hearted conversation
Really?
today. Yeah. A nice light-hearted
Really?
conversation. You got me in here talking about how the country just going to hell in a handbasket.
Me? Say that. Please, I am a that. Don't, you know they're going to clip this little part and say,
But Jay, what you say?
no. I've never once said that. If you love it, though?
No.
Okay, so
no,
me
no,
say
no.
that. Just making sure.
No, because, and on this point, Jade, I think what's happening is that we're a young country, we're 30 years now, right? Well, 40, almost 40 years. And the truth is, a lot of these things we kind of have to develop. I think we're at a place now where we've kind of caught our footing. And it's time that we start moving from the little gentle jog and we got to start sprinting as a country.
We got moving.
But in order to fully finish the race, we got to know what the goal is, Jade. We really, as a nation, got to figure out what's the nation we want to see in 10, 15, 20 years. What's the nation we want our children to grow up in, Jade? I tell you, you go around and ask petitions. We just go on to independence. You go on and ask petitions and ask them, as a collective, what are we aiming for as a nation? Nobody know.
They know. They never stop to think about it. So why would
Nobody
they
know. But we need leaders with vision who can instill this vision in us and sell us the vision. Sell us the vision so we all could buy in. Otherwise, we just floating. We just floating.
Yeah.
Anyway. Guys, we're going to take a short break and come right back. Looking forward to this next conversation. So stick and stay. Don't go away.
Energize your goals with Lucasade. Get it good. Look under the cap. Find the code. Win it. Thousands in prizes. iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
For a chance to win 30,000 US dollars. Purchase any Lucasade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucasade or 30,000 US dollars to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucasade, taste the energy.
Turbo energy, we want kickstart and a workout. Pour some in a mine and in a year cup. We're going up and up and up. 1 cup on me charge up. Turbo, we want no time for talk. Pour some in a my cup and get me energy up. Original flavor, me drinking, mixing with the juicing. We no lose turbo, me for win. Cause a turbo, me say me ever ready, never did it. The greatest next level energy, it's legendary. So turbo, we drink and charge up. 1 cup on my gun up, me charge up with turbo energy drink.
Hey guys, welcome back to Island Tea, right here on Win Media SKN, and we have in studio with us a guest today. We're looking forward to this conversation because in the studio we have with us Mr. Igin BlackFree. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm okay, man. I'm okay.
Nice. I'm really glad you're able to come and hang out with us. You got a lot going on right now.
Correct.
And we'll talk a bit about that. For people who don't know exactly who you are, what you do, just give them a little rundown about who is Igin BlackFree.
All right. Well, blessed morning greetings to everybody out there that's tuned in, logged on. You know, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with Island Tea. And
indeed,
yeah, we appreciate it. First and foremost, I appreciate it, you know, because when I got wind of the show, I actually was like, I wonder if they will call me. You know, so I just want to give you guys the props and the flowers for doing your work and really taking the initiative to recognize that everything that goes on in sync, it's you guys talk about it. and that's a plus.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Appreciate that.
To answer your question, everybody out there, I go by the name of Igin BlackFree. I'm a hip hop artist from Sandy Point, St. Kitts, and I was formerly known as SMI $.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have been doing this for a while, so much so that you done had. What was the impetus behind the name change? Just because you mentioned it.
Well, sorry, my mom don't like when I said on the radio. I tell her I will try to say well.
Right.
Well, as parents, they normally give your kids nicknames.
Right.
As when we born, you know.
Mhm.
So she nicknamed me Igin. She never once called me my government name once in her life. And I'm 37 years now, and she never once called me my old name. So I was like, nah, man, I'm going to have to change this. And then as I got more into being black conscious and what's going on around us, if you study history, our last names came from the slave masters. So when slavery was abolished, you was on Mr. Warner plantation.
You come a Warner.
You come a Warner. You know what I mean? So I decided I don't want to carry on the white man legacy anymore. So, well, I made a phone call to a lawyer friend of mine and spoke to him about it, and he told me to come through. So I just had to carry my birth certificate, my new name, and my permit. So I chose the name BlackFree just to say that I'm black and I'm free. I could have chose an African name, but who said that's my original tribe?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so Igin BlackFree, and that's on my passport, my bank statement, everything. That's my legal name.
Nice. I think there's a lot of thought and consideration that goes into things like that, and yeah, really big you up on that one for sure.
Yeah, respect king.
But you've been a hip hop artist for how long now?
Over 20 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of years, dude.
Listen.
It's a lot of years to be doing something, yeah.
Over 20 years. I started when I was 8 years young. Recorded my first song when I was 12 years young, and I never stopped since.
Wow, I mean,
it's amazing.
I mean, this might be a little bit of a cliche question, but I think it's one that's really relevant. Hip hop, as much as there might be a lot of people that listen to hip hop music here in the Federation, it's generally not looked at as the main type of music. Also, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of persons who consider our local hip hop artists, let's say some of their favorite local artists, for whatever reason or not. So when you've been doing this for so long, I could imagine one that when you started, there probably wasn't a lot of it happening. And how has that journey been, like, continuing to produce this type of music, even though, you know, it's not as popular as it is in some other areas?
Well, for me personally, is the love first and foremost. Everybody have a passion for something. This is mine. My family been very, very supportive. Cousins, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, nephews, stuff like that. So when you have your family that's going to be encouraging you and supporting you, it kind of give you that energy to push forward. It kind of builds a shield around you from everything else. There was one point in time, I think it was maybe 2017, 18. I wasn't putting out any music, but I was creating.
Right.
I do something musically every single day. Whether it's to put beats in a folder for a future project, whether it's to create a hook, write bars, I do complete songs, I do something every single day. That's how I stay sharp and work on my craft. Every single day I have to dedicate something. So if I have to run the kids to bed and say, hey, I have to wait till they go to sleep, you know, I do something every single day. But my mom, she was like, well, may hear you say you're going to the studio. May hear you say you got nothing new coming out. Like, what's really going on?
Right.
At that point in time, I was fed up. You know, I felt like I'm not reaching where I need to be.
What do you think caused that frustration at that particular time?
I feel like when you reach like a certain level, the leaders of the country should step in and realize what you're doing. just like how Island T realized, hey, this guy just put out a new album, let's get him up here. I feel like once you reach a certain level and you graduate to a next level,
you
like,
pay your dues, you've proven that there's something there that is valuable.
Yeah, they should really step up and, and say, hey, this is what's going on. So I was really frustrated, but I still kept doing it, but not releasing anything.
Right.
So
my mom's asked you, you ain't going to studio, what's going on?
Yeah, and I was like, before I could even answer, she said, just do your thing. So I didn't even have to go and give her explanation why.
Right.
She just said, son, just do your thing.
Hey, watch it.
This is what you love to do. Just do your thing. You don't let nobody kill your vibe, kill your dream. Like she said, just do your thing. So since then, I just took that and I run with it. She gave me that rejuvenated confidence that I felt like I needed,
this is the third instance in this conversation I mentioned your mother.
Yeah, that's
biggest supporter.
No, but I think that you can't hide. You can't hide when you have supportive parents. Like you can naturally just impact. They play such a huge role in your life.
Correct.
That when they do what they're supposed to do,
correct.
You can't hide.
I'm telling you, she's asking a question, and I couldn't even answer. Before I even answer, she said,
she don't get the solution.
Just do your thing. So so she's like I said, gave me the rejuvenated confidence that I felt like I needed to get back out there and face people and face the world and get back to doing this like what I'm doing right now. It's not really easy, as you said. It's not supported heavily, but the passion, the love, it keeps me going. At the end of the day, it keeps me sane.
Because by that time, 2017, you would have released several projects.
Correct.
You would have been performing on events all around the island, including the music festival, I think, by that time.
I've done it all.
Right. So do you think that even at that point, it was kind of like, well, what's the next goal? Like, what would be next?
Yeah.
Do you think that kind of helped with or contributed to the frustration as well?
Yeah, it obviously did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we not sometimes, all the time we don't have the financial resources to get us to the next level.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and this, it plays a big big part to get you to the next door. The music is only a very small percentage of it. If you get your business correct and your money in order, you can reach some places. Yeah.
Well, at that point, you got back in the studio, obviously, and till now, you have still been producing, distributing, and promoting music. And your most recent project, which was released, and what was the date it was released?
September the 18th.
Is there any significance to that date?
Yeah, that's my birthday. Yeah, so on 2020, September the 18th, I released an album called Legacy. And 2021, September the 18th, I released an album called Came a Long Way. So Sugar City Rap God is my third consecutive album on my birthday, September the 18th.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you said the album this year is called Sugar City Rap God.
Yeah.
Now, the title alone, I think, is very direct and very purposeful. Sometimes when we do things, it's not always taken in the context that we want it to be. I know for a fact that there were some people, for some reason, who seemed to have an issue with the name. You saw some of that?
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's fine.
Yeah,
but
that's like me personally, like I look you straight through your glasses, can't see your eyes. I don't care.
I know that much.
Yeah, I don't care. Well, I really don't. When you to backtrack, this wasn't the album I was initially working on.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes I'm all over the place. Like if you hear say I putting beats in this folder, in that folder I got this sound. I want it to sound like this. I have that sound. I want it to sound like that. And there was some comments made by certain people who have no credentials to the name. And my best friend, shout out VP, and he was like, don't take on them there. They know you Sugar City rap god. And I'm like, I got in that direction. Right? And then I was like thinking about it. This is my 7th album. 7 is a godly number. What am I supposed to call my 7th album?
Yeah.
I rep St. Kitts proudly.
Right.
I'm from Sugar City. I rep it.
All through your music, everything.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever feels somewhere about the album title, go in the studio, match it.
See, I was one of the people who was like, when I saw it, I was like, I like it. Like, no. And because there is a certain competitive spirit that exists in hip-hop.
Correct.
And rap culture, right?
Correct.
And a certain bravado.
Correct.
Right? So I personally don't mind when people throw down the gauntlet and state their claim. It's up to you to come and dethrone me. If you think something different, then
correct.
Then let's see what you're gonna bring to the table.
And I don't think with the camera here.
Yeah, right.
None of you rappers is gonna do it with a diss song. Like it's not.
Hold on. Are we creating beefs here?
No.
No. We're opening competition.
Yeah, none of you gonna do it with a diss song.
Right.
You know, you'll have to go and put in your work. You'll have to get people behind you. You'll have to get Island T to call you up for an interview. You'll have to get your music out there. You know what I mean?
Saying that this song can't dethrone you.
No, it cannot dethrone me.
That
would just be like a negative aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I put out 7 albums. 7, how much you got?
Right.
When you're talking. Like I couldn't name the 7th album, nothing else. So I'm proud of it. My family's proud of it, and everybody who's heard it so far is proud of it.
Well, I mean, I have listened to some of the music for sure, and I've also been seeing some of the feedback. Of course, you've mentioned that your family, in particular, some of your biggest supporters.
Correct.
But from people outside your family who've heard the music, what's some of the feedback you've been getting?
This is the best one to date. You outdo yourself. Nobody could hold you. Like, you really need to get out there. If I had this amount of money, I'll put it behind you. Like, it's all positive, you know? One guy, we didn't have each other number until he called me through Facebook. Because he was like, he was going to message me. And this is Matthew White. I don't know if you guys know him. Yeah, he said he was going to message me, and it was probably like after 10 in the night, like 4 days ago. And he said, I couldn't message you. I had to call you. So he called me through Facebook. I was like, well, he didn't call me this time. So I pick up the phone. He's like, yo, buy the album crazy. I can't stop listening to this. I'm playing this all day. The songs with your daughter, yo, that took the cake from me.
Right.
Like, he just gave mad props, and stuff like that makes you feel good, and it makes you continue.
Right.
I'm at the point where I could shut out the negative noise.
Right.
If you're saying something positive, I rock with you. You're saying something negative, I'll rock with you from a distance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got love for all artists from St. Kitts, even the ones who've tried to diss me, because we all in the same struggle. We are going through the same thing. Right. I don't have to dap you up. I don't have to call you, you know what I mean? But spiritually, I wish you the best.
Right.
You know, I want to see you win. I want to see you succeed, because this ain't easy.
Trust me.
This ain't easy.
Trust me. But in terms of the music, what was the direction? So you got the title through this conversation with your best friend.
Correct.
And so what was the direction that took you down in terms of, this is the type of music I'm going to do, this is the theme, this is what I want to achieve with this album?
I normally compare it, to the last one. You know, Jay-Z said, if you want my old music, buy my old albums.
Right.
So I don't want to make this one sound like the last one.
Right.
The last one, the content on it could have been Sugar City Rap God. Like the title, because I'm really rapping.
Right.
This one, it's called Sugar City Rap God. Not only that I'm trying to make it sound like that, but I'm paying homage to all of my albums. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Somebody might look at your album and said, but he ain't really sound like he giving us, you know, that aggressive tone of the title. right?
Right.
But me, you have to put yourself in my shoes. I'm coming from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm at this point where I'm saying, hey, this is Sugar City Rap God.
You don't have to shout it. You already proven it.
Okay, right?
I got
So
you.
in terms of the music, I wanted to get back to hits, potential hits.
Right.
Because anything could possibly be one once it gets the right exposure and the airtime. So I wanted to have that club feel. I wanted to have that female aspect where ladies could enjoy it. I still have the street songs. I made it, like I came up with a friend of mine, shout out to Mikey from Sandy Point this morning, and he said, this is easy, a Get Rich or Die Trying album. And I said, big man, you know what you're saying? He said, yeah. He said, I don't skip a song. He just let it run. And that's what I was really trying to go for. There's something on the album for everyone, even if you're not into hip-hop.
Bang us from top to bottom.
Correct.
I got you. Well, you actually mentioned one particular song that I would love to highlight a bit. The song that, when I look at the feature list, the track list, because the track list came out some weeks ago.
Correct.
And I say, wow, I don't know. I mean, I might be going out on a limb here, but I seen 2 artists on this song that the names look very familiar to yours. I said, but I wonder if they're related or something, right?
Yeah, my daughters.
So there's a song on the album with your 2 daughters. Like we could take a listen to it real quick.
Sure.
All right, guys.
Definitely.
Just intro the song first.
Yeah, this is Igin BlackFree featuring Igin and Igin BlackFree. Ready or not?
This is Slow Rock Big. I am working with my daddy, Igin BlackFree, and my sister, Winter BlackFree.
Ready or not, here I come. Ready or not, here I come. Ready or not, here she comes. Here she comes. Come. Ready or not, here I come. Ready or not, here I come. Ready or not, here she comes. Here she comes. Come.
I know my parents don't get me gifts, but I got a lot on my Christmas list. Grateful for whatever I get, but yo, Santa, hear me out. I want a cotton candy machine. Jelly beans, I've been a cream. New days and denim jeans. Earrings that really gleam. A breakfast that make me scream. Me and my sister double team. Mommy paint our toes, then we dad, we touch the road. Whoa.
Hey, touch the road, you know we
Stay fresh.
Tell all them haters to
Say less.
none of the words.
Fades us.
My whole fam,
Stay blessed.
straight savage, straight menace. Floss more than
My dentist.
my lord.
My God.
Black free.
So hard.
Snow and winter, yeah, we just having some fun with it. Hey, y'all can't have the crown. Soon as we done with it, try and steal a swag, try and run with it. Try and steal a swag, try and run with it. It's worth it, you should run with it. Hey, winter, do your thing with it. When it's fine down time, I'll be suiting up. Julie made the ice cream, so I scoop her up. Getting blown off the green, no super dust. We in the club, all of y'all can't hoop with us. Ready or not, here I come. Ready or not, here I come. Ready or not, here she comes. Here she comes. Come. Ready or not, here I come. Ready or not, here I come. Ready or not, here she comes. Here she comes. Come. I hop on the track and I make waves.
In my class, I get straight A's. Every year I'm in the honor roll.
I can't stop, I'm on a roll.
Blades on, shades on.
Time well spent, never be wondering, hey, where my day's gone. Stack chips,
Get my lays on.
never fumble when the play's on. Crown me king when the play's done. It ain't over till I say it's done, till I say it's done, and they say who won. BLACKFREE. BLACKFREE.
Ready or not.
Yo.
Vibes.
Yo, people sending up flames all on the live, boss.
Yeah, appreciate that. Big up on yourself.
But I
Yeah.
mean,
That's 5 years old and 8 years old.
I was gonna ask the ages.
Yeah.
5 years and 8 years. Like, what was that process like? Like creating this song with them?
In December last year, I decided to do a freestyle Friday for every Friday, and it's been picking up some steam. And I'm home. I'm doing it at home.
Right.
So they're seeing me doing it, and they want to be a part.
Right.
More so my 8-year-old. So I asked her if she wants to rap piece. She's like, yeah, you want to do a freestyle Friday with daddy? She's like, yes. You know, kids on the tablet, on YouTube, they watch any and everything at some point in time. So I wrote the verse and I sent it to her phone and I told her practice it. And we did the freestyle. The freestyle is still up on my Facebook page with her.
Right.
And my best friend, VP, he was like, you spitting too much bars on these freestyles. You have an album to go work on, to go put out. So he said, listen to that freestyle there. That's a song. And these is freestyles I was doing on original beats that I bought.
Right.
So I wasn't freestyling over other hip-hop beats. I was freestyling over my own stuff.
So you're basically writing songs just...
Yeah, and he was like, yo, that's a song. These are songs. So I took his advice and I shut down the Freestyle Friday about January and then went to work on the album. And then I decided I'm going to do this as a song because I like the energy behind it. People love it. So in terms of my 5-year-old getting on the song, we went to the studio and I was like, yeah. She's like, we singing in here? I said, yes, baby, you too. And I was like, come do the intro. So I said everything.
Right.
And she said it right behind me, right behind me, right behind me. Then we cut out my vocals and then piece it together.
Nice.
So it sounds like she just said it one time.
Nice.
But people don't see the process.
The process, right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
But it's overall a fun song. And I'm happy, I'm humble, I'm excited at the same time. I never thought like this would have even happened.
Right.
Like you have a song with 2 of your daughters on it, it's incredible. So all praises and glory to the Most High.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but tell us a bit just about the album because time running us down. But tell us just a bit about the entire project and encourage people to really go out and listen to what it is you've produced.
Yeah, Igin BlackFree, Sugar City Rap God. Yeah, my 7th album is now available worldwide, including YouTube for the fans that don't have the Spotify and the Apple Music and the Tidal and the Deezers, but that's some of the platforms you can get it on. Everybody in St. Kitts have Amazon, so it's on Amazon as well. So I really appreciate you guys to go out and support. We put a lot of hard work into it, and we're going to continue pushing. Like I said, it's album number 7. Yeah, we recorded it at Plug-in Records in Sandy Point. So
Big up Bama one time,
yeah,
church.
Big up Swagger. Yeah, so he did it. Yeah, big up Wet Dot, for putting together the release party for the album. He said I released the last 2 too quietly, and I told him sometimes I could find the money to make the album, but I don't necessarily have it to market it how I would like to. And he was like, say no more, I got you. So much love and respect to DJ Wet Dot. He's family to me.
Yeah,
First
big
and
up.
foremost, he's 2 of my daughter's cousins, so they call him uncle, I call him bro. So he did everything. All I had to do was show up. So I really appreciate him. The graphic designer, Whale, who did the artwork. Chev Rich, who pitched the idea of how I should dress for the album cover.
Big up, Chef. Big up, Chef.
Maxim, Smoky Solutions. That's who I go to do my photo shoots.
Right.
Normally, I'm from Sandy Point. I'm a proud Sandy Pointer. If I could get something done in Sandy Point, I'm going to do it in Sandy Point.
Right.
So when I got there and I was like, how much? He was like, why you coming here for years? That's my contribution to your album.
Wow.
So that was big love on his part. VP, you already know how I feel about you, bro. All the featured artists on the album, Bamaro, AYS, my daughters, Igina and Igine. Yeah, thank God, first and foremost, and thank myself for not quitting on me, not giving up on me, and still believing in me.
For sure. Big up, moms.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Big up, mom. Raspicky tackle.
Oh man, but I could tell you from my listen that it's an amazing project.
Thank you.
And I know that we haven't heard the last of you. Never mind you, but even of this album.
Correct.
Now there's things that you have in the works, for this collection of music. So really looking forward to what's next. And hopefully people really go out and support. Go out and support.
Yeah, go out and support the album. I just want to ask a question to the government and the organizers of the peace concert. Why Igin BlackFree is not on the concert? Why no artist from Sandy Point is not on the concert? I feel like an event like that, all artists from St. Kitts should be a part. It's taxpayers' money. It's a free show. So when the government is putting on shows like this, every artist in St. Kitts should get a chance to eat.
All right. Well, hopefully we get an answer. Who knows?
We probably won't.
Well, the question has been asked.
Yeah,
I mean, posed.
it's a bit unfair. I'm a bit disheartened you know, to see, not just for me, I rep Sandy Point, I said it proudly. You have an Independence Peace concert and no artist from Sandy Point is on. There's a handful of artists from St. Kitts is there, and it's spearheaded by a Jamaican artist. I don't feel like when it's a free show, I do get business. If Jade decides she's throwing an event and she wants to bring whoever she wants, she's trying to recuperate funds, right? So I get that. When the government is putting on a free show, let's give St. Kitts people the opportunity to fail St. Kitts people. I don't really want to hear that, oh, we need to get people in the door, so we brought an overseas act. You know, we could eat. Our music in St. Kitts has grown, matured. It's on a really supreme level in terms of what we have to work with.
Right.
And people are buying into it more and more. I feel like we could do it.
Definitely. But Igin, I appreciate you again for taking the time out to come hang out, bro.
I more than appreciate you guys coming up and calling me for me to come up here. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's big love, and like I said, I really have to give you. I said it to myself. I wonder if they will call me. Like, to be honest, I'm kind of tired of going.
Like,
to people, like people they're not recognizing what you're doing. If you're trying to build an industry and think it's entertainment wise, these people put in positions, their eyes and ears should be glued to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the radio, so they know what's going on around here.
Yeah.
So yeah, big up to Win FM. This is like probably my first home.
Right.
I was gonna say like I feel barricaded, but this is how it's always been. You know, came here with GQ many years ago. Released my first song right here.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
So big up GQ too.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what we're gonna actually do is when we log off on the show, we'll play one of your songs again. So guys,
appreciate that.
Listen, stay tuned and listen as we go out for another bang off the album. Remember, it's hits after hits after hits after hits after hits.
Correct.
So yeah, man, Igin, big up yourself.
Yeah, big up yourself.
And, we look forward to
big
hearing
up
more,
Jade.
man.
Yeah, peace and love.
For sure.
Respect.
But guys, time is fast, man. We're gonna have to go.
Home time, basically.
Yeah, it's home time. Leave. We gotta go. We gotta disembark. We gotta disappear, guys. So stay locked. Stay tuned. For more of Igin's music. But we gotta say bye bye. Whether you join us on Facebook, YouTube, any of the other digital media platforms, big up yourself. If you log on to us on the radio, 98.9 FM, you all will MVPs. The people who in the office and on Island T loud.
You can't really do that, but you could put your headphones.
No. Nobody complain, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Nobody will complain.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, well, all right, good then. They're going to cause nobody to lose their jobs over Island T.
Oh, my.
Remember, I realized a lot of people don't realize that you could literally go back on YouTube and watch the episodes. Like, if you miss it, if you have to run into work, if you jumping out the car, you could go back and watch it.
Just go to Win Media SKN. Just put in Island T. You can find us
easily.
So yeah.
And don't forget, Saturday we're walking for our cause. We're winning with Win.
Winning with Win.
Yes. So sign up for our charity walk, which starts at the parking lot down by the movies there. You can sign up by coming to the office in the Sands. Or you could go on our website and just fill out the form. It's only 30 EC and all
Facebook
proceeds.
as well, right?
Yeah, man.
On Facebook as well. Yeah.
All proceeds are going to the charities that we listed. All the information about the walk, you can find it also on the flyer that is attached to the post or the news story. So, guys, see you guys on Saturday. Hopefully, God spare life, as the old people like to say.
Yeah, bye. God's willing.
Yes, God's willing.
But guys, yes, please remember to
wait.
What?
Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
You know it.
Oh, only good news tonight.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all catch that. some balance to this show. This weekly balance of good news.
The yin to our yang.
Yes.
Wow.
Especially after Azim rant today.
Jade, is you talking
No,
about?
no, don't try that. Don't try that.
But guys, please remember to learn from the losses of others.
Indeed.
You don't have to go and repeat other people's mistake. Please also be aware that you need to spend more time living your content than posting it.
Posting it does get y'all in trouble.
Big trouble.
Lots of trouble too.
And guys, also remember that you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. We're going to see you guys tomorrow.